Welcome back to the podcast. On this episode, Myah France interviews Zman, an ASU influencer known for his street interviews clad in a Sparky onesie.
Ryan Estes also sits down with community editor Natalia Rodriguez to discuss the revival of La Prensa.
I'm Paul Pasquale.
And I'm Trent Ashdown. This is State Press Play.
Welcome back to State Press Play. I'm Myah France, and I'm here with Zman. Would you like to introduce yourself a little bit, let the audience know a little bit about you?
Of course. If you don't know, my name is Zman Saris on Instagram and TikTok. Right now on TikTok, I have 10.7K followers, and on Instagram, closing in on 9K followers, which it's been a ride for content. I can say that for sure.
I'd like to know a little bit about you. Did you previously go to ASU? What was your major and all that?
So I started at ASU. I'm not a on-campus student. I do it all online. Freshman year of college, I did not go here. I went to a private university called Ottawa University in Surprise, Arizona. And then just decided to transfer over, thought it was time, and then started picking up content creating on the side. And it's been a journey, it's been a ride.
How long have you been creating content?
So I started about 2 years ago, but I didn't do anything ASU related with content. It was mostly just like skits I would post on TikTok, here and there. And then it wasn't until last summer, not the period summer, the summer before that, I was like, gonna go to ASU, let me be on campus, let me do the man in the street interviews. But I didn't want to do it like how everyone else did it because, just guy with a mic, just go up to random people. I was like, I want to stand out. So I found the onesie on the app called Dbop. I was like, this is really, really cool. Like I'm gonna get this, And when the first week of the previous year started, I was like, man, like what should I do? Looked in my closet, saw this. I was like, yeah, this could work. Sparky, just a guy in the random onesie going up to people. Yeah, that should work. And one night after Inferno Fest, went up to people, started interviewing. About a post or two later, one of them took off. I was like, wow, like people really, really enjoy this. And it's just been up all then, just.
What motivated you to start content creating in the first place?
So I always just thought that I just wanted to do something more and have a personality that I can show to others. Never really thought that, just be a regular student, just, sit, do your work, do the online assignments. I was like, man, I want to do something more. And I was like, you know what? I see all these people do TikToks. Why not? Who cares what anyone thinks? Just do it. And it's pretty much all it is.
What do you hope to accomplish with your videos? What's the end goal here?
End goal, oh man, that's a good question. Just do what I keep doing. I mean, right now, this year has been the best year I can say for content creating. Keep getting new sponsors. More things just keep coming my way that's been really great, which all glory to God for that. And yeah, just keep growing. Hopefully end goal is 1 million followers. That's the end goal. I mean, and then more. The sky's the limit is the one thing I always used to tell myself is sky's the limit, so just shoot for the stars.
Would you recommend this influencer lifestyle to others?
Yes, 1,000,000%. My one take that I always tell people when doing it, you're going to have people that judge you. You're going to have people that look at you funny, that give you looks, give you the icks. And then, but what I tell people is, just who cares? Just be you, have a personality, and show it to the world. If you're funny, and if you truly want to do this, then do it. Find a niche, find whatever that niche is, and then just do it. I mean, who cares what anyone says?
I need to ask, what is a super memorable interview that you have that you will always remember it?
Oh man, a memorable interview that.
It could be funny, it could be or a really meaningful moment for you.
So one really meaningful one was the start of this year. It wasn't even me interviewing one person. It was just this past Inferno Fest, I went out and fortunately my cameraman had gotten sick, so I was like, all right, let me just grab my tripod and go to different places. Camped outside of the ASU stadium, And there's just that so many people are like, oh my God, it's the guy. Like, and what makes it even better is like when people see it, it's like, oh, the dude in the Sparky onesie, the guy walking around in pajamas. But there'll be people that say, oh my God, it's Z-Man. I'm like, whoa. Like that's new. It's like people will say Z-Man, people will say Z. A couple people say my real name, which is wild because I barely say that. But it's so unreal to me. But it makes me so happy. And then just in front of us, I just got so much love, so much appreciation. I'm like, wow, like this really means a lot. Like I remember I was calling my cousin Lucas afterwards, and I was just like, you'll never believe what just happened. And it's just explaining everything, and then going into the next day, just going through the videos I got in that day, editing everything. It was just, whoa, like I've had a lot of fun here at ASU. I've done a lot in school, off to the side. Worked with a social media team, Tempe Barstool, did that for a little bit. That was fun. But, I mean, nothing beats this. This has been amazing.
How was your experience in the day of your life? With State Press, was that exciting to like get asked to do that as well?
Yes. I remember when you first reached out, I was like, oh my God, I'm being in a podcast. I was excited. I'm not going to lie, y'all. It was really exciting. I was like, yes, let's get this ball moving. Like, when do you need me? Like, I'll go get the onesie. I'll go do whatever. I'll drop whatever I got to do. I'll call out work. I'll go show up. And I was trying to get them all moving. And then, mind you, this was like a couple days before spring break. So I was like, I was excited. And I'm still excited. And this has been amazing. It makes me happy.
Great. I'm so happy we could have that for you. Is there anything else you would like to add?
Anything else I would like to add? You know, when I do the content, my one end goal, my one goal is to try to make people happy with it. Try to make light. If I can make one person laugh and smile, then I know I'm doing my job right. If I know my videos are popping up on your Instagram feed, your TikTok feed, someone told me that they sent their mom the video and they started following me, which, hi. But no, I mean, I'm glad that my videos can make a good impact. I'm glad I can make people laugh. I've had people tell me that they've really liked the videos and they appreciate all the work I do, all the hustle and the grind, and to just keep going. And that means a lot. So I have to just say thank you to all of you guys. Like, I'm not what I am without with all y'all. And that just means the absolute world. So thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Of course. Thank you.
While Z-Man reaches out to ASU students through fun interviews, we reach out to our Spanish-speaking community with the revival of La Prensa.
Ryan Estes talked to Natalia Rodriguez about her efforts to bring this section of our website back.
Welcome back to State Press Play. I'm Ryan, and I'm here with Natalia, our editor for La Prensa. Can you tell me a little bit about what La Prensa is?
Yeah, so La Prensa is basically the section on our website where we either write or translate stories in Spanish. So it's kind of catered to our Spanish-speaking audience, and we just try to get as much information to that specific audience as we can.
And what is your role?
So I'm actually the editor of the Community and Culture page, so that's the section I'm in charge of editing and assigning for, but I have been acting as kind of the editor and the managing editor for La Prensa because I'm the only one who can kind of do that job right now in our newsroom. So I've kind of been double dipping in those sections.
And when it comes to translating these articles, what challenges have you run into with taking these English articles and translating them into Spanish?
Ooh, I think the biggest one is when someone translates the article, they're obviously using other outside tools because their Spanish isn't at the level to fully do that on their own. But the biggest problem I'm seeing is like they do a lot of literal translations, which just don't sound right in Spanish. So that's kind of been like the biggest thing. Another thing that I've been struggling with is just figuring out almost the syntax of it, because it basically everything in English, the way you structure a sentence, you kind of have to flip it for Spanish. So like I've obviously, my strong suit is writing in English. I speak Spanish, but I haven't really like studied writing it in Associated Press style. So kind of learning that as I'm editing has been challenging. Another like a personal motivation is just like my my whole life was basically in Spanish growing up. Like, that is very close language to me, and while I don't speak it as much since I moved from home, this is kind of a way for me to practice it and like integrate it into what I'm doing in my life. So I think it's kind of, I keep telling myself, like, I can't not come from Nogales, a town where everybody's Mexican, everybody speaks Spanish, and not be able to write in Spanish. So like, that's kind of the two motivators.
The articles that I've noticed that a lot of La Prensa translates are ones that directly have to do with Hispanic or Mexican people at ASU. Mm-hmm. Is there hopes in the future to expand La Prensa to include more articles that maybe aren't specifically about the Hispanic population?
Yeah, I think that would be so cool. I've kind of been thinking about this. I haven't spoken to anybody about this, but I think it would be such a good idea if we could have an editor specifically for La Prensa, because I'm thinking, like, I'm managing community and culture, so like that's already its own thing. So like, to put the same amount of time or effort into La Prensa is just not possible. Like, I would have to do 1 week community, 1 week La Prensa. So I think that would be a really good opportunity. And like you mentioned, we've only done a few articles and they've all been kind of related to that population. So I think it could be really cool to expand that and also do actual reporting in Spanish. Like, have interviews with Spanish-speaking communities, only Spanish-speaking communities, and report on things that matter to them. Like, for an instance, I have a lot of family that can't really read in English and fully comprehend it on the level that, you know, the state press is on. So I think if we did that, like, that would just reach such a wider audience, even beyond like an ASU student.
When it comes to putting these articles in Spanish, what does it take for somebody who speaks Spanish to be able to get on the level where maybe it gets above a conversational level and more into a journalistic level when it comes to these translations, for anybody who maybe speaks some Spanish, is interested in writing these articles and would want to reach out to work on that?
I think, honestly, the biggest thing is kind of studying the Associated Press book in Spanish, just the same way that, like, as journalists, we're kind of taught about the Associated Press style, and like, we learn and we practice it and we drill it over and over. It's kind of the same thing. Like, you're not going to learn everything in one go, you know, everything, and certain things change the same way it does in English. Like, in this situation, you use this, and this one you use this. So I think it's just like reading that book, honestly, and practicing is probably my best answer for that.
Definitely. And if there was one last thing that you would want to kind of say to encourage anybody who is wanting to start translating articles more, or any sort of publication that's maybe on the fence about it, do you have anything that you would say that inspires you or that just kind of keeps you going and wanting to do these things?
Yeah, I'd say for publication-wise, I'd say it's a no-brainer to do it. You get a wider audience and you kind of grow a trust with that audience because you're trying to cater to them. So I in my opinion, that's like a no-brainer. I don't understand why a bigger publication that might have more resources than the state press does wouldn't do that. In terms of someone who wants to translate, I'd say just do it step by step. Like, it's hard to look at a whole story and then like be like, okay, I have to write this in the exact same way in Spanish. But I think like part of it is like changing things to obviously still have the same meaning. We don't want to change the meaning, but Spanish is just such a different language. Everything is said so differently. So my best advice would just be like, take it step by step.
Well, thank you so much for being here today and talking about La Prensa. Anybody who would like to read some of these articles, it's on the State Press website. And thank you so much for joining us.
And that's all for this week's State Press Play. I'm Paul Pasquale.
And I'm Trent Ashdown. State Press Play is produced by audio podcast editor Audrey Lippert and video podcast editor Trent Ashdown. Our original music is by Ellie Willard and Jake LaRue.
Special thanks to our multimedia editors.
If you want to see more stories like this, check out statepress.com. See you next week.